Hey, what's up?
How's it going, everybody? It's Michael. Probably shouldn't touch my mic again. What's up? I almost pulled out my cord. I'm nervous. Ugh. Hey, everybody, and welcome to a very special first episode of the Blue Curtain Show's midweek mic drop.
Midweek mic drop.
We got a band. Yeah. Thanks so much to Shy Sam and Comfy Squaddles. That's the name of the show band. Just made it up. So, stories, memories, fun things that happened to me along the way, my journey. You guys have been amazing with questions and comments, asking me a little bit more about myself. How did I get my start? What things looked like for me at the time, and of course, where I am now. I'm really having fun. I'm enjoying this. This is good. I want to bring you more. And after some comments back and forth, I've decided to tell you a little bit more about me.
In the beginning,
I won't do that. Yes, it is said that voice actors are not born, they crawl out of the dirt. Or maybe a rock. Which, it's not my favorite thing to do. I'm not. I'm not actively. I don't even know how to say this. I'm not someone who talks about themselves a lot. Uh, I find it difficult. I find it challenging, and I mean, self-celebration. I'm all for it. I would tell people to celebrate their wins. I would tell people to be proud of who they are and where they've come from and what they've accomplished. So I'm going to take that advice, and I'm going to give you what you've asked for, which is just a little bit more about me. So, my background, I was born out east in Canada, in North York, Ontario. Yeah, I don't remember much from my early childhood. I don't know if that's like a memory thing or just like a big blockage. I don't know. I remember things being cold. Of course, everybody has fond memories of school. I have I have a handful of fond memories from school. School I always found kind of difficult, and I'm not sure that's because I had an undiagnosed learning disability, or I'm not sure if it's because I was just a generally ADD ADHD kid. I don't really know. I think I was a fairly calm kid. One of the cool things that I could talk about going forward is some of my first few credits. People have been, asking me, "Hey, Michael, what was your first job, and when did you get started? How did you, work up to being a voice actor?" So my story is kind of, I wouldn't say unique. A lot of people grow up in the theater program. A lot of people get a chance to perform and get a chance to, create something with their community, whether it's a Christmas show or a school pageant or something. I think everybody can sort of, lock on to that idea. So that was me. I grew up in a lot of different places. We moved a lot. My dad was in the military, so we moved back and forth, coast to coast, quite a bit. And there were times when we were living in Victoria, in BC on Vancouver Island, and we were involved with this program called the PACE Musicals. So PACE stands for Program for Academic and Creative Enrichment, which of course sounds like a lot, but really it was simple. Get kids active in theater, whether it be music and singing, dance, or stage production, making props, making costumes. There was always something for everyone to do, and we all just came together as a community, and there was like 300 people in the cast, and that was a really, I think that was a formative time for me for sure, because it really did set the bar for small elements of professionalism, right? Like showing up early, being totally equipped to do what you need to do for the next several hours, which is put on a show. So there was lots of wardrobe changes, there was lots of shoe changes for the dancers. Of course, it might please some of you to know I met my wife doing the Pace musicals. We went to school together, so yeah, we were friends from a very early age. I had just turned 13, or yeah, it was right before that. So I was 12, almost 13, and yeah, the musical environment was a great place to grow up. It was a great place to learn, and it was certainly a great place to get that kind of performer confidence that I think some people struggle with. Going forward, the confidence to perform can be a pretty big element of getting the job done and being that person that they need. What else? Oh, I forgot. I played football. That was another thing. I used to hunt mushrooms with my grandpa. My granddad was from England, so I got exposed to a very, very rich voice very early. My mom was born in Weston-super-Mare in England, so she came over on a big boat. Yeah, I feel like when I was born, I got like an extra USB port or something where they stuck all the crazy. Yeah, this is harder than I thought. So, don't ever take yourself too seriously. That's a good piece of advice. Just saying. So after the Pace musicals, I had the opportunity to go to England, where I lived for a little over a year. It was very fun. My dad was on a military posting at the time, so he was working at the Naval College. I was going to the American School in London in St. John's Wood, so that was an interesting experience for me as a Canadian kid in England going to an all-American school filled with children from all around the world. That was kind of a fun experience. But one of the things that came out of that, aside from just going to a really cool, diverse school, I had the opportunity to audition for what would become my first professional job. So this was in the early 90s. There was a project called Little Lord Fauntleroy, and the main star actor, child actor's name was Michael Benz, and he went to the same school as me. So they decided that they would come to the school and they would cast some of the other roles. One of those roles happened to be for a streetwise bully named Stanley Logan. So, enter Michael, the Canadian kid at an American school in London in St. John's Wood. I'm like one of the only unaccented kids in the entire school. And again, streetwise bully, in New York. That was the setting at the time for the story. So, yeah, I showed up at the audition. Some of the other guys were, I guess, they didn't take it seriously, and I think the director noticed that right away. And of course, I'd had a moment to talk to him, and of course, I'm like 11 or 12 at this point, and I have a moment of exchange. I do the lines. I put on my tough New York accent, and I say, "Hey, I'm gonna beat you in a pound of sand or something." I can't remember what some of the lines were. They had me improvising and things, and I won the role, which I thought was really fun and really interesting. And the weird thing was, he told me right on the spot, which was great because everyone else who had auditioned, and by audition I mean showed up, screwed around, and been just generally disruptive. Everyone else was still there, so he was able to sort of give me that nice bit of news right in front of everybody. So he was like, everybody, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate you guys being here, to audition for Stanley. Thank you so much. But I think I'm going to have to go with Michael on this one. So, Michael, thank you. The role is yours. We look forward to talking to you. And yeah, we're going to go forward from there. So that was kind of a shock. But it was a nice shock. It was interesting. It was a little bit of validation from, working, so long in musical theater and feeling that that love of performing. So that was kind of cool. I got to ride a train out to this beautiful New York City set built in the middle of this huge shire. It was great. I got to get a taste of filmmaking. I did my own stunt. I got punched out and I went over a vegetable cart and I did it in the rehearsal and I felt really bad. I thought I had ruined everything and he was like, "That was great. Do that again." So that was awesome because I got a little on my face from a piece of wicker basket, just a little. I had a little scar, a little scratch. So that was kind of cool. Added to the toughness of my character. Yeah, so I beat up the lead. I beat up his friend. I got beat up. And then I ran from the cops, which was which was kind of cool. I'm like 11. I'm like trucking down the road, which was kind of fun. Yeah, so that was kind of my first experience making a big production and acting in something quite large. And yeah, casting through my school was interesting and fun. And I would say, hey, advice to anybody: if a casting agent comes to your school, if you're interested at all in film and television or voice work or any sort of future in the arts, I would say take it seriously. I would say try and do your best to connect to the material, connect to the lines, and thumbs up. I hope it goes your way. After that experience, I ended up moving back from England back to Canada, where we kind of, picked up where we left off. We rejoined Pace. I was performing, all through high school, various musicals. There was some comedy. There was a little bit of roller skating, if you can believe that. I was rollerblading on stage and did some big like jumps, and I don't look like it now. I was lighter at one point. Yeah, so I carried on through the Pace musical program for quite some time, and it was very, very fun. Like I said, I met my wife there, so we had mutual interests, musical theater, dance, comedy, all these kinds of things. And yeah, high school just kind of flew by. I didn't work a lot in high school as far as like acting goes. I auditioned for things, but I was always kind of big. So when they were coming to my town, to Victoria, to cast for kids in my age range, I'd be looking down at everybody else, and I'd be taller and I'd be bigger. I had like stubble, so more of a time for me to grow, to develop a sense of who I was. So there wasn't a lot of acting during my high school years outside of the PACE program. But after I graduated, wait, let me take it back a bit. I joined the cadet program a couple different times when I was a youth. So it would definitely be around 10 or 11. I was in Sea Cadets for a little while, which I thought was really, really fun. I got a sailing certification when I was a teenager. So I'm like certified to sail and all that other stuff. I realized that was the wrong hand. I was like, hands flying akimbo. So yeah, I got that pretty much, out of my system, and I decided I wanted to try something different. So I joined something called the Service Battalion, and at the time it was mostly just basic military style cadet training. It was a youth program, so it was more about getting together and socializing and learning some skills, which was great. I picked up marksmanship really early, so that was really fun for me. I ended up joining the PPCLI cadet program, so I was with them for the rest of my cadet career. I went to summer camp every year. I got paid, which was a really cool thing for a kid to experience. So that was all kind of happening in the background. Cadet and marksmanship and school and pace was pretty much the main focus of my high school years. Sorry, I got cold. I had to put on a sweater. Yeah, cadets was really amazing. And it was amazing for a couple of good reasons. I mean, marksmanship was great. I mean, it obviously offered me a lot of opportunities, but I also got to go to England, France, and Belgium and Ottawa to celebrate the armistice, which was the 80th anniversary of the end of the First World War. I was one of 7 cadet youth representatives. There was 7 cadet civilian representatives. We went on this big trip. It was really amazing. There was over 56,000 cadet applicants, and I got one spot out of 7. So I got to represent my home corps. War and BC. It was pretty awesome. So yeah, I was 17. I was in uniform. I was all over the place, and yeah, things were going pretty well. And then I came home and I graduated from high school. I did pretty well in art, so I got honors. That was pretty cool. So I yeah, graduated and went to Whistler to work as a chef. And that'll be what we talk about next time. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. I really appreciate you all. Hopefully this was the kind of insight and stories that you were hoping for. I'm going to do a few of these videos where I delve into a little bit more about my early credits, my early days, some fun acting stories and things from set. Yeah, really excited again to have you. Make sure you like and follow and hit that subscribe button. Make sure your notifications are turned on so you never miss a video. Thanks again. I really appreciate you all, and I hope you have a fantastic week. This has been the Midweek Mic Drop.
Midweek mic drop.
Thanks again to the band, Comfy Sam, and the Squaddles. I think that was it. Take care, you guys. All the best. See you next time.